Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Aisha Alexander. I'm here to share with you all a little bit of the experience of how I found Islam. I was born in Colombia, South America, under a Catholic home. Went to Catholic schools and Catholic university. Always since I was a little girl, I always challenged my religion. I always wanted to find more about the religion that I was professing and the faith that I was born under. Unfortunately, under the Christian religion, all the challenges and all the questions that I always give, the replies that I found is that the Christianity is not supposed to be challenged, as my questions were simple. So I left behind all my questions. I continued with my studies. In 1998, I relocated to United States to continue the endeavors of becoming a professional pilot. In 2001, I had the first meeting with Islam. I was working with a company led by Muslims, by a community from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. Here, I had the opportunity to have the first meeting and to go inside of these families that were here in the United States. I had the opportunity to work with Muslim women that were leading in many fields, not only in the communications, but in the medical fields and other fields. So my interest to know more about Islam was increasing every day. Then I moved on from this company and I became a professional pilot. This career has taken me to fly mostly all over the world. I live in Malaysia, a place that I admire deeply because they have three cultures and three religions that they mingle very well with no question, with no discrimination. I was very much impressed when I lived in Kuala Lumpur. Then I had the opportunity to spend about 3 months in the Middle East last year in Kuwait, Bahrain, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi. Here I had the real touch to be in a pure Muslim country. And the calls for me to be Muslim, they were getting stronger and stronger. I could recall one time in Bahrain, after coming back from dinner, listen the calls of praying to have that very strong feeling that I had to confront myself to where I really belong to. I knew I didn't belong to Christianity. I belonged to Islam. That day, I prayed very hard and I asked God to show me the real path to where I could find my real identity. But again, I was concerned for an American female and also a pilot living in the United States, how the impact of being a Muslim could have into my profession and my family. My second trip, and this one was, I believe, the one that God designed for me, was to Argentina. Here, I found myself after a very long trip at 5 o'clock in the morning listening a program recorded in Argentina talking about Islam in South America. Again, that was for me the answer to what I was looking for. I went and I Googled it and I found the largest masjid in the continent of America. Unfortunately, the same day I was departing back to United States. But I made myself a purpose to coming back and a goal to go back to Argentina, as I knew I could find easily the answers that I was looking for in a country that shared my Hispanic background, and also I was going to find people that, like me, were reverting to Islam. Back on the Thanksgiving Day, that dream came true. I went to Argentina and I was able to spend about 3 days. I had a meeting with the sheikh of the masjid who spent with me almost a day going over all the questions that I have. This person had a tremendous knowledge. He was not only a sheikh and not only specialized in Islam, but also a lawyer. So we had another thing in common, many things that we could share. At the end of the day, before I was leaving, before I walked out of the door, he asked me, "Would you like to embrace Islam?" I didn't think twice. I right away say, "Yes, I would like to embrace Islam." That day, in front of many people, I embraced Islam. I shared with them Maghrib prayer, and then I went back to the hotel. And that was when all the questions came to shower against me. How am I going to face me being a pilot in the United States and being a Muslim? That was my biggest concern. And second, how am I going to teach my son who has been raised under the Christian principles? How can I explain to him that his mother became a Muslim? How am I going to wear a hijab? How am I going to change the way that I dress? Many, many questions. But I went to sleep in peace because I knew that I finally found what I was looking for. All those questions that I had from the beginning, from childhood, they were all answered on that day. So I was ready to face everything. And I knew that once I come back home, I was going to have the support of my mother and of my son. Then I came back here to United States, and that day I was a new person. So I chose my name to be Aisha, Aisha for a new life, because Islam became for me to be a new life. I had found in Islam many blessings that I didn't found before. One, the respect of the woman. We have in the holy book, we have one whole chapter about women, our rights, how men supposed to treat us, and how important we are as women, as a mother for the Islam. And as this part was also very important for me, many other aspects of the Islam have conquered my heart. Now I change also the way that I dress. I dress in a modest way, in a way that my beauty is not revealed, and the man is not just going to look at me for how beautiful I am in the outside, but how my inner is, how my heart is, and especially the person who approaches me is going to approach me for my intelligence, not for how I look in the outside. So many things have changed in the positive way. The pray, I pray 5 times a day, and this makes me feel closer to God because it makes me feel that every time of the day I'm being thankful for what the blessings that I've been receiving during the day as it goes by. The most amazing thing that had happened to me after I became Muslim is my son, who later will speak how he found Islam. And just that mission that I have to see him growing as a righteous Muslim, it gives me more inspiration to know more about Islam. Right now, I'm practicing my career as a professional pilot. I'm also studying my legal studies to complete my law degree, and also I'm taking some diplomas in Islam, as I found very important when you decide to take any road in any faith to know deeply what you are preaching, what your convictions are, what the pillars of your religion is. And this is what I'm doing right now. This is basically one of the best gifts that I had given from God. The peace that I found in Islam, I found myself. I found the person that I always wanted to be. Later, I'm going to introduce you my son, Gabriel, who can tell you at his short age, at his 8 years old, how he feels about his mom being Muslim.